Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about the Tesla Roadster, the version 2, that was supposed to come out in 2020. I'll still never forget watching that live unveiling of it. I think it was such a brilliant unveil moment to have it drive out the back of the Tesla Semi, and the people who went to that event really just thought they were going to be watching Tesla talk about a semi-truck, and that was it. And they even fake ended the event and everything. It was such a great reveal, and it's sad that it wasn't able to make it to market this year, though that's okay. I totally get it. In regards to the company, it's probably not super important for them. They would much rather ramp production of Model Y and work on new factories for the Cybertruck, and the Tesla Semi as a whole is probably a lot more important than the Roadster, which is probably being bought by people who already own Teslas. So I get why they are not looking at it as a huge priority, because it really doesn't help them achieve their main mission statement of accelerating sustainable energy. This is more just for fun. And honestly, there's been arguments made as to why the Roadster probably is going to lose Tesla money, especially on the 80 that they have to give away to the referral program winners. But that's not the point. The Roadster is more about marketing Tesla and making their brand a bit more well-known and flexing what the electric vehicle is capable of. And those are all important things, but when it comes to just taking gas cars off the road, Roadster doesn't do too much. And in case if you want any more recent updates, Elon has stated that the Roadster will be coming in a lot more colors than the colors at least we've seen of the Roadster version 2 and the colors that Tesla currently has available for their vehicles. The Roadster is going to have lots and lots of different options. I'm assuming that involves using the next generation paint shop that's now being implemented at Giga Berlin, and they want to have lots of custom colors to choose from, similar to the original Roadster, which also had lots of different color variants for customers to choose from at checkout, which makes sense when you're spending this kind of money on a vehicle. But my hope here is that the Roadster version 2 can actually stick around. I really want it to be Tesla's dream vehicle, you know, the best of the best when it comes to performance and range. And honestly, knowing that they're going to be using these 4680 cells that were definitely not available when they first unveiled the Roadster, and how they'll probably be structural to the Roadster's design, I would not be shocked if the range is well over 700 miles with the Roadster. And Elon has said that the 0 to 60 time of 1.9 seconds is for the base model, and it will only get faster for the higher tiers, which will be rocking the SpaceX air cannon package that will literally shoot cold gas out the back of the vehicle, the same kind of cold gas thrusters they use on Falcon 9 rockets. That's all going to be amazing, but I don't want it to be a limited time thing. You know, I know the Founder series is going to be limited to just 1,000 models, and those people who have placed reservations on them, I'm sure they cannot wait to get their hands on this vehicle, because they had to drop, you know, the full price $250,000 back in 2017, and now they're still waiting for their car. But when it comes to the non-Founder series versions of the Roadster, I hope that Tesla can keep it around. I don't want it to be something that they just do for a year and then decide, well, there's not that many orders coming in, so let's just stop making it. I personally am still a little bit sad that they had to discontinue the original Roadster back in 2011, right before the Model S came out. I thought it would have been cool if they could continuously update the Roadster alongside the Model S and, you know, bring supercharging access to the Roadster, which it never really got. And the fact that they're bringing it back with their own design and not really an inspired design from a Lotus is very exciting to me. And the main reason I want it to stick around is I want it to basically flood the supercar market and start making it kind of a standard thing for $200,000 sports cars to be going 0 to 60 in less than 2 seconds, and having air cannons on the back and having insanely good range with an all-electric powertrain. And I think that if Tesla is able to keep the price that they promised it at, even if it's a bit more expensive, it's still drastically undercutting the vehicles it's competing against. There's very few gas vehicles that are at the Roadster's price point that can actually compete when it comes to the acceleration, the top speed, and the range. We don't even really think much about range when it comes to gas vehicles, but if you're driving the Roadster like a Roadster, I'm sure the range will not actually exceed 600 miles if you're doing a lot of those 0 to 60 tests and trying to experiment with that 250 mile per hour top speed. I'm sure the range will probably be a lot closer to 300 because of how much energy electric vehicles consume when they're going at high speeds like that. But I hope it's here to stay, is what I'm trying to say. I know that the annual output capacity of the Roadster demand is probably going to be maybe around 10,000 units a year, so just building them by hand and not really have a lot of robotics being involved with the mass production of the Roadster makes sense. It's going to be an extremely low volume vehicle, I would say, probably probably lower volume than any other vehicle they're building. So my hope is that they can reserve a certain section of the Fremont factory, just have a dedicated team of maybe, 100 people that work on this thing and measure every single panel gap to make sure it's as thin as that prototype we saw, and making sure that the paint is absolutely perfect. There's no scratches and there's no missing sections, and the paint is really even and clean. And they can just stick around for the long haul, no matter how big Giga Texas gets or how many more Gigafactories Tesla builds. They can stay true to some of their original fan base, which was the two-door Roadster. That was their first vehicle they started with, and I think it absolutely makes sense to keep building it in California just because it's a California type vehicle. I just feel like a lot of the California demographic is into those type of sporty cars that are, optional convertibles and go really fast. So just keeping a little bit of homage to their roots there as long as they possibly can, I think would be awesome. And I'm not a Roadster reservation holder. I know, shocking, right? Bet you didn't see that coming. However, I'm really excited for all of the YouTubers who got their referral credits to win themselves either one free Roadster or some of you even 2 free Roadsters. I'm excited for everybody to get their hands on one just because of how I think that's going to dominate the YouTube space, and it's going to be on the trending tab and it's going to be in everybody's sub boxes for probably months that this new Roadster is amazing and YouTubers are going to be enjoying them. And I think that will just work miracles for Tesla and just ultimately prove that they shouldn't spend any money on advertising. And honestly, giving away Roadsters is a way better way of getting your brand name out there and getting a whole lot of eyes on the company. I think this is going to be the perfect retirement vehicle for a lot of people when they reach a certain age and they're like, you know what, I've been saving up a lot for retirement, maybe a little bit more than I need, so I'm going to drop some of it on my dream vehicle and be able to take it out and outperform every car on the road on the weekends, and making sure that option is there. Even if the production of the Roadsters is going to be very, very low volume per year, easily less than 1,000 units a month, I still think that keeping it around and making sure it's not a limited time edition vehicle will make sure that electric vehicles are dominating the performance sector. And I think that people that are still driving around performance internal combustion engine vehicles will start to feel like, okay, what am I doing here? I'm paying, all this money for a really fast car, and it's more expensive to operate, and it's not even as fast as this far cheaper Roadster that everyone keeps buying. So why do we even keep paying for internal combustion engines? I'm sure there's always going to be a certain enthusiast demographic for it, but the more Roadsters there are and the more people driving them around, the more pointless the internal combustion engine will start to feel, and I'm in favor of that. So what do you guys think? Do you think the Roadster should just be a limited time thing? They're just going to make it for 2 to 3 years and then just kind of get rid of it because it's too low volume? Or would you like to see it get cheaper in time? Or would you like Tesla to keep it around for the long haul? All that great stuff, feel free to let me know. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have an excellent rest of your day. Take care.